Alright, this carburetor, like I said earlier, is off of my DA50. And I rebuilt this carburetor last week, so it's all fresh. But again, is it the ignition system acting out? It can't be the carburetor. It's two different carburetors now I tried, and it's not as erratic as it was. But something still ain't right here. I left my screwdriver back in the garage. Let me grab it here. Let's see what happens. Vapor locking. Go. There's the inconsistency. You see how it was running fine for a minute there? Throttled down, throttled back up, and now it wants to die on me. Now it seems to be running fine again. Well, you tell me what's going on here. Absolutely lost. There it goes again. Now it's starting to act up again. I do know one thing for sure. This cylinder right here is fouling out on idle. Right now it's not even firing. And I have changed these plug wires around. It makes no difference. Whatever's making this foul out on this cylinder is got to be something in the engine causing that. Because it does the same thing. It's always this cylinder fouling out. Like I say, I don't know what it can be. It's driving me nuts. I put new piston rings in there. The cylinder, the sleeves look pretty darn nice. They're nice and polished. The valves look good. And the only thing I think of why, you know, the valve was hanging open, but why would it hang open on idle and then when you know, go full bore with it, all of a sudden it starts working and sounds fine? I don't know. And when I crank the engine over, it's got good compression on that cylinder and on that. They both feel about the same. They got nice compression. So both cylinders have nice compression. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know where this is coming from here. You can see some dampness here. I don't know, is that coming out of the cylinder or somewhere else? I don't know if this is focusing or not. The screen's so small. It appears to be, yeah, there appears to be some dampness around here as well. But there's also dampness on this one over here. I'm assuming that's kind of a probably an OS thing. Look, I bought the engine used. It was supposed to be just fine, and it ran like pure crap. After fooling around with it, I found out that this cylinder head at some point had been removed, and when it was put back on, it was kind of cockeyed just enough that it was leaking compression out of the side here. So I tore it all apart, checked the head gasket and everything, put it back together and put it on there straight and true, brought the compression right back, and it seems to be working all right. It doesn't seem to be leaking, but the cylinder fouls out at low speed. The only other thing I can think to try overall is another ignition system. I have a couple more dual ignition systems, but it's not for these little teeny plugs. It's for the bigger plugs. So I'm thinking, I don't know, using one of those or one of my, I believe it's A&E ignition system, and just wiring it up as opposed to using plug wires. It should at least tell me if that's some of the problem. We already found out now that the battery, now they say this is good here. Where did it go? Right here. 6 to 12 volts. And I started out with a 6.24, so a 6.2 volt pack, a 9 mi pack. And then thought, well, maybe that battery's no good, and took that brand new Life battery. That's a 6.6 volt 2100 milliamp put on there. It was still running and missing at high speed. And as you know, I added this here, which is my receiver battery out of one of my giant scale planes. It's a 7.4 volt LiPo 5400 milliamp, and suddenly the missing engine went away. So it's you know, is there other things going on with the ignition? I got to try another ignition before I make up my mind what's going on here, because obviously there was problems with the carburetor. I changed the DA carburetor, the Walbro, off the DA50. That seems to have really helped. It's not perfect yet, but it helped immensely. Changed the battery, took away the stuttering at high RPM. So I guess the only other thing to do now is to figure out how to hook up one of the other ignition systems and give that a go. Sorry for the long video, but you know, thought this information might be useful to somebody. If not, ignore it. See you later.